Creating and sustaining viable routes is critical to any airline's bottom line and continued survival. So carriers must look for those options. And for Medview Airlines, Ilorin, the Kwara state capital, is the next stop on its route network. Minutes after, the Ilorin airport is in view. Passengers and airline officials deplane to a warm welcome. For Medview Airlines, the expansion into this city is informed by the desire to provide effective services across the country and to build a more efficient intra-city network.
A lot of people want to travel, especially now that we have bad roads around the country. A lot of people want to travel, but they don't have enough capacity to be able to move them out. But with this capacity we are bringing, we'll be able to carry as many people out of Ilorin and into Ilorin. And what actually informs us is to be able to connect the people right in Ilorin here with the neighboring state, to use the opportunity of these our flights to connect other northern parts of the country.
As the airline comes into town, a strategic partner is coming along.
We provide ground handling services for Medview Airline in all the places that they operate to in Nigeria. We have been with them right from scratch, and coming to Ilorin is we see it as another opportunity to support the success of their operations here in Ilorin.
Passengers are also glad to have other connection options.
Constant flyers in Ilorin have been advocating for more airlines to fly Ilorin because of the monopolistic tendency that the two or I can say 1.5 airlines that are flying Ilorin is having, and this one is causing a lot of problems for flyers.
When I came in today, I was quite excited. I've flown Medview for quite some time from Abuja to Lagos, and I know that we are lucky in Ilorin to have Medview connecting us to Lagos.
According to the carrier, Ilorin has always been home owing to its involvement in Hajj operations. And to take the relationship further, a visit to the office of the Secretary to the State Government is key.
When we made a choice of our career for 2017 Hajj operation and we decided to pick Medview Airline, we met at Saudi Arabia during Umrah. Then we discussed all that thing and informed me that by July 10 or 11, Medview will be operating from Ilorin to Abuja.
Medview Airlines was founded in 2007 as a charter airline mainly operating Hajj flights, but has offered domestic passenger services since November 2012. It has also expanded into regional and long-haul scheduled passenger routes. Following the federal government's approval for 5% of the revenue from passenger service charge we pay to the Accident Investigation Bureau, the agency says this is a critical step as most of its projects had been stalled owing to the paucity of funds. The Commissioner for Accidents, Akinola, said before now, AIB only gets a meager 3% of the revenue from the 5% ticket sales charge and the cargo sales charge. Meanwhile, a team from Singapore is in the country to train technical personnel on the usage of the AIB safety laboratory equipment situated in Abuja, as well as a technical evaluation of the laboratory. The Nigerian Air Traffic Controllers Association says there is need for the federal government to urgently fix the Lagos Airport Central Taxiway, which has been abandoned for more than a decade. A taxiway is a path for aircraft at an airport connecting runways with aprons, hangars, terminals, and other facilities. They mostly have a hard surface such as asphalt or concrete. The controllers are also asking for the replacement of what they call an unreliable Abuja Control Tower's lift and an upgrading of the radio facilities, otherwise known as TRACON, and completion of the Kaduna Control Tower under construction.
Passengers going through checks for their flight. This is a mock Pan Am World Airways aircraft but diners are about to relive the golden age of air travel at a Los Angeles restaurant that recreates the experience of flying in the 1970s. One after the other, guests step back in time to dine inside an exact interior replica, divided into first and clipper class cabins with an upper deck dining room reached via an original spiral staircase. First, there is the welcome by glamorous flight attendants, or air stewardesses, as they were known in the 1960s and 70s. Wearing authentic uniforms from the era, they cover each table or tray table with a white tablecloth, set it with Pan Am branded silverware and napkins, and then serve the 5-course meal from aisle trolleys. After a glass of champagne and an hors d'oeuvre of caviar and Melba toast, accompanied by an optional shot of ice-cold Finlandia vodka, diners are served a nostalgic menu of shrimp cocktail, followed by Chateaubriand steak, carved seaside and served with seasonal vegetables. A cheese plate and dessert also follow. A bartender mixes retro cocktails at the upper deck curved bar, and those who prefer soft drink can choose 1970s favorites Tab and Fresca. The creative force behind the restaurant is Anthony Toth, a self-confessed aviation junkie who started collecting Pan Am memorabilia after he took his first flight on the iconic airline at the age of 5.
I actually had a lot of vintage menus from all my days of traveling Pan Am, and so I picked really what my favorite one was, and I went to a caterer and had them replicate the menu in exact detail. And so tonight we're actually serving an authentic Pan Am meal, which would be a Chateaubriand carved tableside, or a chicken served with a roasted peppercorn sauce. We also have a vegetarian option since it is actually 2017. And so we had that caterer reproduce that menu for us on every Pan Am experience. And part of the experience is actually how we present it and roll it on the cart. And it's what really brings the Pan Am menu to life.
I'm like counting down the minutes until I get to the position. And after like 6 hours, I'm like, hey, tricks on board. It's okay. Thank you, and for you.
Passengers on this mock flight also share their experience.
The way of doing air travel these days is very much you're a cattle, aren't you? You know, you're pushed on a plane, you're pushed off a plane, get your luggage. But this was the glamour age of air travel.
A former flight attendant says times have changed, and so has the service.
Airlines don't do what they used to do. Pan Am was the best, and they always created the very best service.
Passengers paid $690 for a pair of first-class upper-deck tickets, $590 for the main deck, and $490 for 2 seats at the clipper or business class table.
Before we go on the show, let's take a look at this Russia's famous aerobatic team, Swifts, as they celebrated the 105th anniversary of the establishment of the Russian Air Force. And this is all we have for you on this edition. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Bukola Joe Uketumbi.